The Mind Buzz, now partnered with My Grito Industries.
This podcast episode of The Mind Buzz is brought to you by House of Chingazos. House of Chingazos is a Latino-owned online store that speaks to Latino culture and Latino experience. I love House of Chingazos because I like t-shirts that fit great and are comfortable to wear. I wear them on the podcast and to the carne asadas. Click the affiliate link in the show description and use promo code TheMindBuzz. That's TheMindBuzz to receive 10% off your entire purchase. The cash saved will go directly to the Mind Buzz podcast to help us do what we do best, and that's bringing you more Mind Buzz content. Click the link in the show description for more. The Mind Buzz is powered by Mind Buzz Media. Mind Buzz Media is an on-site video and audio podcast production company. Have you ever thought about starting your own video and audio podcast? Or do you have an existing podcast that you want to take to the next level? Mind Buzz Media brings a professional podcast studio to you. Visit mindbuzz.org for more. May 4th in the city of Santa Anita, California is Michelada Rumble. Michelada Rumble. Amber and I, the Mind Buzz, will be out at Santa Anita. Go get your tickets in the link. Michelada Rumble. The host is George Perez, the comedian George Perez. Amber and I will be out there tasting all the micheladas and judging them. Come out.
The Mind Buzz Podcast.
Let's go. Boom. What is up, Mind Buzz universe? Welcome back to another podcast episode of the Mind Buzz. My name is Gil, and behind this screen that you guys can't see is Amber. How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm pretty good. You know,
Yeah?
It always trips me out to see the advertisement where your head's bald.
Uh-huh.
And that was just like 2 months ago. And it's crazy to see it. That's it. That's all I'll just say.
The magic of vitamins. Ladies and gentlemen, the magic of dieting, the magic of working out at 6 a.m. every morning, the magic of
Stop lying.
not doing any of that to grow my hair out.
You know, it's a toupee. I'm just kidding.
I know, huh? I just rip it off right now. No, I just grew out my hair to let people know that I still have hair.
That you can
There's a whole community on Reddit that people didn't know that I had hair. You know that? It was crazy.
No, I didn't.
For the podcast, we've had the podcast for what, 2 years? And throughout those 2 years, well, before the new age information of me having hair, people thought I was bald.
Like permanently
Like
bald?
permanently bald.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. There you go.
Well, you have hair. And lots.
Yeah. I have hair, lots of it, just on my head. There's a lot of things going on in the Mind Buzz universe. What do we got?
I can't believe that's stuck.
What?
The Mind Buzz universe.
People love it.
No, you love it.
I love it. That's all that matters.
Beautiful.
If you're watching this on a Tuesday, or if you're listening to this on Wednesday morning, Puro Laughs has a new start time, and Puro Laughs is our open mic in the city of Paramount. All stages of comedians welcome, from beginners to all the way to professionals that have been popping in every now and then. Puro Laughs in the city of Paramount has a new start time of 8:30 sign up and 9 p.m. start time. So come out, get some laughs, or work on some new materials in the city of Paramount. What else do we got? I have a show coming up on Friday. I haven't posted about that. I'll post it tomorrow, but it's in Pomona. So all you Pomona locals, come out. It's going to be awesome. It's a small little music festival in at Metro Ale House in the downtown Pomona. It's pretty cool. Come out and check it out. There's going to be musicians and comedians. I am one of them. And Saturday, Laughs and Lowriders in the city of Santa Anita at Santa Anita Park Gates, 11 a.m. It's only $5. Come on. It's only $5. You get the at $5 at the door. You go in. It's we're going to have music, we're going to have comedians, and it's all lowriders there. Car show. Come out. It's fun. What else? That's it. What do you got?
Oh,
yeah, I know you have some stuff going on, right?
On Sunday is our market, our Kitty and Friends market.
That is right.
From 12 to 5. And then also signups for our graduates is up. We'll go ahead and put the links down. We know graduating and taking pictures and buying a dress and everything is, or even tuxedo or whatever you wear to your graduation is costly. So we here at the Mind Buzz partnered up with Horchateria. We partnered up with Aaron, and we will be doing free photos for graduates. So anywhere from kindergarten all the way up to a master's degree, anything that you want to celebrate this 2024 as far as graduation, we got you. And come out and we'll take your picture and even print one for you.
Come on by, and that's on our podcast Instagram, right? At the Mind Buzz. So if you go to Instagram at the Mind Buzz, follow us first, and then you will get to see our what's the thing called? A little poster of what we got going on for that day. Yeah, the flyer that Amber is struggling to look for at the moment.
I'm like, why can we not? Oh, there it goes.
Grad portraits, free graduation portraits, May 19th, starting at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Should be fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
What else do we got? That's it?
That's it for now.
All right, cool. That's it for now. And without further ado, let's get into today's guest, all the way from Guatemala, musician, singer-songwriter, Kathy Palma. Welcome to the podcast.
Yay! All the way from Guatemala.
All the way from
It's really
Guatemala.
far, actually. It's like
Is it?
5 hours away.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How was the flight?
It was, yeah. You know, like those cheap ass seats now.
TV?
Flights are not as enjoyable as they used to be.
Really?
Back in the good old days.
What do you mean back in the good old days?
I don't know. They used to like give you food, you know, drinks. Like seats used to be comfy, and now they're like, no, you have to pay for that. Pay extra.
That's right.
I agree.
Yeah. Maybe is it just because we've gotten bigger and that's why the seats don't fit as much?
No, we're
That
just
only works-
greedier.
Oh, okay. That only works for fat people. I'm just trying to.
You have to buy 2 seats now.
But isn't that a good thing or no?
I don't think so. I think they should make accommodations for everybody.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
You know,
completely agree.
Like pay an extra fee. Don't pay 2 different tickets, like separate tickets, you know?
Yeah, they make them too, right? They make them.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to buy.
Oh, you have to.
You have to buy 2 tickets.
Do they tell you? Imagine getting to
Man, I don't know.
the airport and them telling. Imagine how embarrassing that is. Like getting there and you don't know you're that big until somebody tells you you have to buy 2
2
plane
tickets.
tickets for seats.
That would be crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So 5 hours.
5 hours, man.
I seen this girl that went viral recently because she had a first class ticket, and there was a family in first class that didn't pay for a first class ticket for their 15-year-old son, hoping that once they got on the plane, they'd be able to be like, oh, my son can't sit by himself. He's a child.
Oh my god.
Can you switch him to first class? And they asked a girl in first class if she would switch because she was sitting next to the family, and she said no. And there was like the mom got all upset, and the dad was upset, and the stewardess were like, "Please, can you move?" And she's like, "Why would I move to like all the way in the back when I paid for first class?" So
That's crazy.
There's all these things happening.
That's just Delulu.
I agree.
I would have said no.
So that's why she went viral, because and in a good way, people were saying like,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Yeah, they were
Supporting
they were on
her.
side. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, that's good.
Of all the viral moments, it's always an airport, you know?
It's good. I
Or
mean,
inside a
the Alaska
plane.
Airlines thing was crazy though.
What happened then?
That the door opened, like it got.
Oh my
ripped.
God.
It blew
Oh.
out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, last year,
I don't remember this. Can you pull it
Or
up?
not last year.
This
was it
happened.
this year, right?
It was this year.
Do you have
Yeah,
a video of it? Is it?
I think they do.
Can you look for that?
I don't think there's a video of it popping out, but I think
Of like people's reactions and the door wide open. I think I may have seen that. I saw that. Or there was like these other instance where this lady started freaking out because she said the passenger that was next to her was like it was not human.
What?
That's right. I remember that too.
So she was like, that person is not human.
Oh my God.
And she got off the plane but you couldn't help but think like, is she maybe
Yeah.
like some people
What's
said
wrong with her?
some people said she was right. Like that
Really?
passenger had like a very off vibe.
They were
And
saying he was like
a reptilian or something.
reptilian, yeah.
Yeah.
The baby?
No, a man.
Like a man sitting next to her.
Oh, she said that about the man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She started yelling like mid-flight, like, "Get me off of here! Get me off of here!"
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one way to get first class seats, right?
See, there's the window.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
there are
that's it?
pictures.
Yeah, and there was actually a guy sitting.
Oh my God.
I don't know if he
would
was
have
sitting
freaked
there
out.
or behind it, but he said he got injured. Like he was almost getting like sucked out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was.
Like, what do you do at that point? You're X amount
I
of
have no idea.
thousands of feet in the air, and a door flies open. The worst possible thing that can happen in an airplane happens.
You just.
And you just put on your headphones during the emergency.
Yeah. You just put on the music. Yeah.
Which is what
You're
I
like,
usually do.
What was I supposed
Yeah.
to do?
I was listening to my favorite song.
I was ignoring you.
Yeah.
Very consciously ignoring you.
Yeah.
Oh man. But we're glad that you're here and that your flight didn't implode or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine stuff that used to happen like back in the day when there was no pictures or newspapers of this stuff happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
the Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. The Titanic. But how many other Titanics were there before the actual Titanic?
You think that we just don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it just got lost.
Because there was no history recorded then,
Yeah.
right?
But even if there was, like, humanity doesn't learn.
Right.
We've seen that happen, like,
Oh, yeah.
all the time. So what was the point, really? Like, we wouldn't have done anything anyways. We're kind of stupid sometimes.
Did you ever hear about that conspiracy about the Titanic?
No.
There's like several
There
out
are
there.
several, I bet.
There's one that it was all a scam for the people that owned the
For
Titanic
insurance
for insurance
purposes?
purposes.
Okay, yes, I did hear this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was weird, and I think it had to do something with who owns Chase Bank right now.
Reptilian.
Yeah.
The reptilian on the airplane.
No, it was like not Rockefeller. He's like one of the I'm so bad.
One of the big ones.
One of the big ones, yeah. But he owned the Titanic.
Oh.
Guggenheim.
I think it's the family that owns Wells Fargo, not Chase. Well, I think Wells Fargo owns Chase, so that family.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about.
That guy.
That
person.
guy. Yeah. But originally, the Titanic was an old boat that already got hit once before, so they just switched them and slapped on the name Titanic.
And I think I saw like there's a documentary about this.
Yeah, there's crazy stuff out there about this.
Yeah.
But and then you get
I
five.
you could have faked it so easily back then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there's so many things that happen like back in those days that completely changed history, and all because of somebody being greedy and wanting to cash in on that insurance money. Right. So I don't know. Is there any like conspiracies from like Guatemala that are like that?
Conspiracy theories?
Yeah.
I don't think we have like theories. I think it's pretty obvious. I don't know about like theory about it.
They don't try to hide it. America tries to hide a lot of the things that happen.
America tries to hide it. It's like a very like utopia type of thing.
Right.
But I feel like in third world countries, there's no real need to hide that stuff.
Yeah,
you can get away with a lot of shit. I'm sorry, can I curse?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So I don't know how. Like I think they like to like pretend. Yes, sure, but like it's pretty descarado. How do you say descarado?
Descarado. What is that? What is that?
Dang it, my English brain.
Trust me, this is me and her
every day.
24/7.
This is me and my Spanglish too. I'm like,
yeah,
descarado.
Very like when you're doing something bad, but you really don't care.
You really don't care. Yeah. It's just like in your face, but you can lie about it. I feel like they even lie to themselves about it.
Right.
And yeah. I think it's so much that you end up believing your own lies. And that politics in third world countries.
Right. So it's probably because I think about that all the time because I live here in America and I know I tend to think that I know about like these conspiracies, but I never hear about other countries and conspiracies that happen in other countries besides if they have any ties in with, like Cuba or South America during the 1960s, all that good
because
stuff.
The U.S. is so controversial.
But that's very U.S. based still.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the U.S. is very special about that. Mental health.
Home of the mentally ill.
Mentally ill.
But look, it ties into what I was telling you earlier about a book. I'm reading a book and kind of with conspiracies, right? How so in the part of a book, I'm not gonna go into detail, but in the part of a book,
what is it called?
About
what is the book called?
It's called Nitrate something. I can't remember. I can't remember.
Nitrate something. Got it.
But anyways, in the book, she's talking to somebody and she's saying like, oh, all these conspiracies and all these shows that show aliens and reptilians and all these things exist because people can't wrap their head around that someone could actually do this. So she was talking about how in Mexico, like the pyramids, right? There's all these conspiracies, all these shows and everything detailing that aliens made, the ruins, that aliens made all these pyramids in Mexico because they can't wrap their head around that indigenous people actually were smart enough to build it because they think, indigenous people are just primitive and all they know how to build are huts. So it must have been something out of this world that built something so structured. So I think that's why here in America, like you're saying, kind of with like mental health and all that, we always go with conspiracies because we don't want to believe that it's actually what it was or that there's underlying issues of how it happened and how it got there. So you're 100% correct.
I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, I guess there's like this superiority complex maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, because she was talking about like Aryan people, which the Aryans are like, like people, white power type of people.
Mm.
So that's what she was referring to.
Okay.
That they're the ones that kind of come up with the conspiracies and all these things because they can't fathom that people can actually.
How did we not come up with that? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
This has to be the only explanation.
Yeah.
You're otherworldly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it becomes like beyond comprehension, it has to be aliens. Like if we don't understand it, then it must be alien, it must be out of this world, it must be supernatural.
So Christianity,
Crazy, but it could be.
I mean, there has been talk. There has been talk about it.
Yeah. Well, even if you just think about just any type of religion, it's all basically the same. It's the same concept. Something from the sky coming down, giving virgin birth.
I mean, that's very specific to Christianity, though. Like, but yeah, you believe in a higher power.
Right. But even the basis of Christianity seems kind of alien. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you really, really think about it, it's even like, it's a little weird because if you look at all the depictions of like Jesus and like godlike features, it's all like very westernized.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's this white dude with like blue eyes, long hair, like beard. And it's like, what? Like Jesus was not even from here. Like what are you even talking about,
Right.
bro? But yeah, you know what I find crazy though? It's like specifically with like Christianity, like it's all based on like guilt. Like that's like the power they hold over you.
Yeah.
And that's just like a crazy thought to me. Like how much power, like how much can you make a human being feel guilt that you can like alter how they behave
Yeah.
based on this? Like it's guilt and fear.
Right.
And of what? Of nothing. We don't.
We don't really know anything for certain.
I didn't grow up with religion at all, like zero. But I would still feel that guilt of not having a religion when I came around friends. And I always say this story, and I think it's kind of funny now as an adult. But as a kid, like my friends would say, "Oh, I'm gonna do my primera comunión." Oh, I'm going to go to Mexico and do my primera comunión. Where's your comunión? All these things. And I was like, what's a comunión? Like, I had to go home and ask, hey, like, what's happening? Obviously, this is Catholic, right? Not Christian, and my mom explained to me, and I was like, all right, cool. And then I went back, and I was like, oh, mine's in 2 weeks. So I lied. Like, I would lie that I was, like, in religion or taking doing some kind of thing because I felt guilty that we weren't. And now I think about it, I'm like, man, I wasn't even part of the religion and I was still getting guilted into feeling like I was doing something wrong, And I said, I can only imagine once you're in the religion, that guilt of actually doing something unholy and the guilt. And it's crazy to me.
Yeah, like you wanted to be part of something that everyone else was doing.
Yeah.
Because I felt that too, because like all my friends were into communion and they would hang out after school. And I wanted to be a part of that. So I was like, no, I'm not part of that. I'm missing all the cheese, man. Like what
That's how I felt.
the
That's
tea,
exactly.
man. Yeah. But that was like my only like guilt, like fear of missing out, really.
Yeah.
Was that community type of
That-
relationship?
Yeah, that you just wanted to be a part of what everybody else was doing, like that mob mentality,
Gotcha.
I
mean, when Amber didn't grow up in religion, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that besides my aunts and uncles making me go, I had friends at church. I mean, of course, we didn't talk about religion 100% of the time, but it was that camaraderie, that place that I was able to, hey, I have friends for the next couple of hours. That was cool. One of my best friends, we met at church. I've known him for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
and he's still in the church. I'm obviously nowhere near a
Obviously.
church. Nowhere near a church, you know. But he's right now he's a teacher in school. He teaches the teenagers at the church that brought us up when we were younger. And I think it's just it's so weird how different ways
Yeah. I mean, with
life
everything,
can take you.
Yeah. There's something positive and something negative. I think with religion, there's just this sense of community that people really need because we're social beings. Like, we need that.
Yeah.
And then you just go to this place where everybody else is on the same wavelength as you are. And I think that must feel like a safe place. Especially if you're like the type of person who needs that support at some point in your life. I feel like that's a very important part of society, like those communities.
Absolutely. Like is there even places like that don't include religion in it? I feel like a lot of places like that need or have religion tied into it. There should be a place like that where people can come together without any ideology.
I mean, you have sports.
Right. But it's an
music.
ideology.
Sports as an ideology?
Have you seen some of these Dodger fans?
Okay, yeah.
Have you-
Right.
Do
No,
you
it's
know?
pretty hardcore.
Do you know a Raider fan?
No, that's a very U.S. thing, but I do know Real Madrid and Barca fans, and
Okay.
it's pretty freaking crazy.
That's soccer?
That's soccer.
Okay.
Football, please.
Football. Okay, sorry. Football.
Come on. That's soccer, yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, there's sports. What else is there? There's
Music.
music.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's like you become friends when you're fans of the same artist.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's also pretty crazy. But those fans can go very hardcore. Like, take a look at like Taylor Swift,
What are they called? Swifties?
Swifties.
Swifties.
Yeah. The Gaga Monsters. Or
What?
Lady Gaga's fans.
When you're that big, Kathy, what would you call your
Oh my
your
god,
fans?
I remember one time my managers were like, you should like name your fans like the Las Palmeritas or something. I'm like, no.
Palmaritas?
It will never happen. No.
It will never work.
No. It's just not my thing. I feel like that's a very
It's so funny because like they give you this outline, or there's outlines on the internet for like podcasts, and usually that's one of them to name your
name your fans.
name your fans, name your community.
Name your audience.
I think it's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I mean, I feel like this is the anti that podcast.
True.
Because
We're
it's
the
like
anti everything.
It's the first like ever conversation that I've had where like I come in as a singer-songwriter, but I'm having a conversation as a human being.
Oh yeah.
That was
you
like
know.
the first like
You have your script,
yeah.
but it's so fun to get out of that script because you're instantly like, yeah, I'm promoting this single. Oh, what is it about? And then you just automatically say that. And it's
We'll get into those questions later. But
yeah, that's awesome. But it's also it's just so like fun to have a different conversation where like I can talk about reptilians and Christianity in one time at once.
you came to the perfect podcast. We love that. We love reptilians here. And anti-reptilians. I'm sorry. Oh lords.
Man, yeah, and I am that person. Like I watch those documentaries about like reptilians and like what are those called? The triangle people?
Oh,
Illuminati?
Illuminati and all the crime documentaries. Like I am the person who will watch the 40 episodes on TikTok about that
Oh, me
teenager
too.
who cut off like that homeless man's head and hid it in his room.
Oh my God. Tell me more.
That's me. I watch all those part 1, part 2.
But like, ask me why. Like, I don't understand what my fascination is with that. Like, why am I watching all the Netflix crime documentaries like La Mata Viejitas?
Ooh.
It's a beautiful documentary.
I want to see that.
Really?
Is that what it's
It's a
called?
really It's based. I mean, it's not based in Mexico. It actually happened in Mexico.
It's based in Mexico.
Story based in Mexico. No, it actually did happen where this like luchadora. I mean, sorry, I spoiled the end. Man, I suck. Whatever.
It's okay. I'm still gonna
It's
watch
this serial killer,
Uh-huh.
and it started off as like all these viejitos were being murdered, and by suffocation. So with their own like jewelry or whatever was handy at the house, and then like these people go on like a 20-year investigation because everything moves slower, and so like at the end of it, they ask the person like the murderer like, why did you do it? And they're like, I don't know. I just hate old people.
Oh my God.
What? And then they said like, yeah, because I'm a luchadora, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like they weren't even what they were saying they were.
So she wasn't
She wasn't a luchadora.
Oh my
She
God.
just had delusions of being a luchadora,
Oh.
but she had
Whoa.
the strength
Of a luchadora.
of a luchadora. It's just so crazy to me. Like that's just, I don't know. Maybe it's like the psychological part that fascinates me.
Yeah, because she put herself in another frame of mind to
It's
do
like,
that.
It's like how can you actually kill someone?
Right.
That's
You know.
something I'll never understand.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I think like, okay, if I have to defend myself, would I be able to? And some days is a yes and some days is a no. But just out of sheer pleasure, I don't understand it.
Oh, you mean the killing somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch have you ever heard of Penitencia on YouTube?
But no, I don't think so.
So it's called Penitencia.
It's a podcast?
It's a podcast, yeah. It's a
Oh,
video.
okay. I always recommended this podcast actually.
Yeah, so it's a girl. She's a psychologist, and she's in Mexico, and she goes to some of like the most like high profiled prisons, and she interviews people that are in there for life, and they talk about their story, why they're there, how it happened, things like that. And I remember one of the guys says, he's like, I just enjoy it. He said, I'm gonna say in Spanish, but he said que él like se sentía alivianado, almost like he felt very zen, descuartando cuerpos. So like pretty much like cutting bodies up. He said he felt like the most zen.
Relief.
Yeah, like relief. Like he was just like, all right, I'm gonna chill out. So let me cut somebody.
My God.
And she was like, what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I don't know. He's like, every other day and aspect of my life is so stressful. He goes, but when I do that, he's like, it's just like sheer bliss. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. It's pretty scary.
So-
That's crazy.
Yeah. Some people make menudo. Some people cut up other people.
Some people like menudo. Those are the two spectrums.
Yeah.
You either like menudo or you cut people
Yeah.
up, man.
Or you hate pozole. We don't know.
Who hates pozole?
I
There's some
don't.
people that hate pozole.
I don't. I like it. Do you like it?
I like pozole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like menudo? Do you know?
Does that mean I like cutting people?
I don't know. Follow the spectrum. There's
she
two
likes
lines.
crime documentaries.
I don't know.
She doesn't like menudo.
She's taking notes.
Suspicious.
That's how my that's how my documentary would sound, you know.
What? You asked that
Yeah.
question specifically.
Do it. Menudo or pozole?
Menudo or pozole? No, pozole, 100%.
Yeah. There's red and green, right? There's two different kinds.
There's all kinds of pozole.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But that's the most famous,
Well, red
right?
in Mexico, red is the pork one,
Oh,
and
okay.
green is the chicken one.
Gotcha.
That
Yeah.
sounds really good.
Which
The
the
chicken
the origin of pozole is pretty crazy. Do you know the origin of pozole?
No.
Either of you know the origin of pozole?
Nope.
Pozole was a sacrificial soup
Oh, I remember you telling me about this.
from the Aztecs.
Yes.
Well, that's what Mexico says. I don't know, but that it was so pozole was made only on like sacrificial days, and it was made with the actual sacrifice person.
Whoa.
So the meat was the person being sacrificed, and then they gave it to the gods, and then everybody feast off of it.
There it is.
Oh my God, it all comes back to this.
There it is.
What is it about this conversation?
I think because humans, we're social creatures, but we're primitive. I think we just have this weird psychological thing that has been passed down to us generation. But some people don't catch on to, I guess, what society wants them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So they go, I don't know, like in their mind that there's something in there that triggers them to be more primitive.
What do you think triggers this response in like certain people? Because is a serial killer born or made?
I think it's both. I think that question deserves a both answer because just like I said, we have this weird primitive thing in our mind, right?
Animals.
Animalistic, right? But also if the environment is not, I guess, the conditioning is not there, then that person may result back to their primitive mind.
Okay. So it is like you may have that
It's
gene
both,
there,
right?
but
I think we have
if
the gene
right
already.
Conditions. Okay, we all have that gene.
Right.
And if the conditions where you grow up, like societal conditions, familial,
Right.
like are there to breed that, just like a greenhouse,
Mm-hmm.
then
Absolutely.
you grow up to be that.
Right.
I mean, it makes sense. Although there are some people that are excluded from that.
True.
Like
Yeah.
they grow up in this like pristine, like very seemingly perfect life, and then they hide a head and hands in their room.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So
That's true.
I think it's
They're the exceptions.
I think it's nature because this would be the thing of nature versus
Right.
nurture. And there's like scientific, like there's actual, they've studied like people's brains, like serial killers or people that, kill and things like that. And there is a piece in the brain, I want to say in like the pituitary gland, that is slightly different than someone of a normal like thought process. And even a lot of serial killers have way higher of an IQ than your average person. So they're extremely smart.
ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely like a gene, something that you're born with. And a lot of these people don't know empathy. They don't know how to feel sad or empathetic or say ay pobrecito, or like to them they're always on fight mode.
What's it called when you don't have empathy? Like it's there's a specific word for that.
There's something.
For not having empathy.
Yeah, when you can't empathize with people.
Can you look that up? I would like to know that.
You can't have like compassion. You don't feel that.
Well, definitely you need that if you're going to be a serial killer, right?
No.
You don't
Compassion?
Yeah.
You,
No, yeah, you don't need it.
You need to not
need to not have it.
need to not have
Compassion, you need to not have it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what defines like the first thing you notice in a serial killer.
If they feel bad about what aloof, apathetic,
No.
callous, cruel, this is
Those are like synonyms.
Yeah.
What do you call apathy? No.
apathy.
I don't know.
The disorder of lack.
Narcissistic, but that's very like no, a narcissistic person can still feel. I don't know, there is a world I know.
Relentless.
I'm forgetting right now.
Ferocious. Bloodthirsty.
Ferocious. Bloodthirsty. Thirsty.
I don't know. That's That's such a weird concept of humans killing other humans just for the sake of that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, but what country is the one that has like the highest number of people with
Serial killers?
yeah.
I think it's the U.S.
Is it?
Why do you think that is? Like,
'Cause
that's so
weird
interesting
people.
to me. Is
Yeah.
it maybe because like it has like a very individualistic mind, like way of like behaving in society? Like it's all like it's not really community based, I feel.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like it's all about what I can gain from
Oh,
life.
100%.
Not really what role am I playing in society to be a good citizen or you know.
We always, I always talk about this with Gil, where I tell him like Gil's Mexican, but he's third generation, right? And then I'm first generation. So although we are both Mexican, we both experienced our culture a little different. So something that we always have a conversation about here in the U.S. is that we always say like in the U.S. Americans I mean obviously we're American, but los güeros, right? the American people, their thought process with family and their children and everything is like, as soon as someone turns 18, you're out of my house. You're done. Like you're out. People move really far away from each other to other states and will only see their family maybe once every year for Christmas, for things like that, right? So I feel like here in America, we're very work and ourselves and we don't, how am I trying to say this? We don't take time to really build community and know what it is to be in a community and help each other, because everything is very me based, right? And it's just the way that society is, and the I mean, I can't say culture, but that's the way that society is here in the US, right? And then you go to other countries and like, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but like, you know, in Mexico, we're very family oriented, or at least my family is. And, you know, we stay with our parents, we stay around. If one person moves, a lot of times the family moves with them. You know, there's a sense of community that breeds empathy. And I think here in the US, we're not breeding empathy, we're breeding narcissism.
Apathy.
Yeah, apathy.
It's TikTok's fault.
No.
I blame TikTok.
I mean, social media definitely plays a huge part.
Yeah.
But this has been happening before TikTok.
Yeah, it's
That's true.
been happening for a millennia, right? What does it say? The United States leads the global tally, accounting for almost 67% of the world's recorded serial killers, with a count of 3,204, with 117
Oh my God.
recorded cases. South Africa holds the second place. There you have it. It's the United
truth.
States. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. I'm like, we're all sad now. We're like,
I'm not sad. This is wild.
No, it's just very like
That's a wild thing to see. I mean, nobody takes the time and think about it.
67%. It's a very high percent.
That's more than half. It's more than half of the serial killers all in the world are from the United States.
Yeah.
Why? Why is this happening?
I don't know. And there's also like on the other side of the spectrum, you have like the countries where people are most happy, and it's not the US.
No.
And you'll see like everything that we chase in this like American dream mindset is ultimately not really what is going to make you the happiest.
Right.
So I mean, it's just counterproductive if you ask me. So we come back to that thing where we don't learn anything.
Yeah. What was the quote that you just said right now? You just said a quote, or was I thinking of a quote and didn't say it out loud?
I think you were thinking of a quote.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot what it was. It was a good one though. I'm telling you.
But
It was really good.
in a utopian Kathy, in your utopian world, what would exist?
Oh my God.
What would you need more of?
If you were the president of the United
not
States,
even the
Kathy.
president, but if you
If you're
create
president
your
of the
own-
world.
If I were president of the world.
Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. All right.
Oh my God. That's a very hard question to
Right.
answer. Man,
She's like,
oh
world
man.
peace
You know
and-
what? I feel like a nice thing to think about would be like everything wouldn't be money based. Like we would not have the ability to access everything by having more money. Like there could be like a more yeah. But I don't know what that is though, because it's not communism, you know?
Yeah.
We've tried that before. and
Right.
it doesn't work.
Right.
So what is
I
like,
think it's the absence of anything monetary. If you look at society and you take away money, what's left? Everything else, right?
yeah, goodwill.
Exactly. But if you have the time and the place and the people to run an actual like country or society without money, that'd be freaking amazing. There's a
Yeah.
project, I forgot. I'm trying to think of the project that there is a America's scientists getting together and people around the world. They're scientists, they're economic people, and just from all facets of life.
Yeah.
And they got together and created this system that thrives off of no monetary
So is it
system.
like a trade type of
kind of,
thing?
yeah, like getting back to the basics of early humans and barter.
Because you would have to like take away the like social conditioning that we've had,
Right.
where like it would be anarchy if we just took away
Right.
money, the idea of money right now.
Right.
So how can you revert that?
It's hard.
It would be,
It'll take a long time.
it feels impossible.
Right. Look at how long has it been since the United States or the world didn't have gold? Gold 200 years ago was trading hands. It was
Yeah.
gold, it was fur, it was all these other different
But if
types
you
of
really think about it, it was like before conquering America, Like,
Right.
because like the oldest civilizations weren't thinking of gold as this like unattainable thing that is like worth so much. It was just there, you know. Gold was just there. Diamonds were just there. They hadn't been assigned this like unthinkable value.
this value. Yeah.
So that has been like, that was created by us.
Yeah. Yeah, the
So, like-
perception of values too. Like
Yeah.
that, I think that's the point, right? Of
What has value and what doesn't.
exactly.
Like who determined that?
we do. We the people.
We the people did that, but why?
Yeah.
Like where did it come from?
Yeah.
Who thought of that? Like let me just like assign this
Right.
to this.
Whoever it was, they were a genius. Cuz look what
Mhm.
happened.
Evil
Evil genius.
Genius.
serial killers. Mass murderers.
Kathy with the callback on the serial killers things.
Going back to
So this was the quote. The quote was I forgot, it was some comic. I'm trying to remember who it was, but the reason they call it the American dream is because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why it's called the American dream.
Like freaking wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not It's not.
It's the Matrix. Are you taking the blue pill or the red pill?
What would you take?
I
Kathy?
can't remember which one was which.
I think the red pill is to. Can you look that up?
The red pill is like the Lululand.
No, the red pill is to stay asleep, and then I think the blue pill is to
wake up.
To wake up from
To like really
reality.
live in like behind the simulation.
Right. In the first episode. Okay,
Which
so
will enable him to understand
Yeah.
what was actually occurring outside the illusion created by the
Right.
Matrix.
Neo was given the option of taking a red pill, which would enable him to understand what was actually occurring outside the illusion created by the Matrix, or blue pill, which would allow him to return to experiencing only that illusion. So red pill is wake up, blue pill is stay asleep.
I'll take the blue pill. I want to live in delusion.
It's easier that way.
It's easier, you suffer less for sure. And maybe the world is going to end the same way anyway. So why do you want to suffer through that?
Right.
Or can you do something about it?
Yeah.
Because that's like,
What would you take?
I wish I could say that I would take the blue pill
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, what the hell am I going to do?
Right.
How many people are taking the red pill? How many are with me? Like, can we actually do something about
Right.
this? And if we do something about it, what good is it going to bring? I don't know.
I would like to have the chance to have both. Right.
You can never decide.
You can't take the green pill.
I know. That's what.
There's no third option.
Why not? There's not.
No, there's no third option.
It was 420 the other day. We could have a green. We can have a green pill.
That's a blue pill.
So, but if we have, why not? Maybe I want to take the blue pill, and then later along the line, let me try, or the red pill, and then let me try something else.
I'm guessing that if you take the blue pill,
Right.
you don't really know anymore that there is a red pill.
Yeah.
Mm. But I would like to have that little.
Oh my god.
Then you take the red pill and you know that
You only
is
take half.
I just want options here. I want this to be
that's
Netflix.
the problem
A
with
true
people
man.
nowadays.
Can't
People want
decide.
options. That's why the divorce rate is so high.
Having
Right.
options?
Yeah, you can't just decide.
People think
Oh
they
my!
have options.
It's a mutiny in here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a mutiny in the studio that is happening tonight.
Oh,
It's
man.
based on facts, though.
I want to know, Kathy. Kathy, who are you?
Kathy,
Are you the
talk to us.
Matrix? Are you no? I'm just- Are you reptilian?
Am I a
No, we're
reptilian?
kidding.
she brought it up.
I identify as a squirrel.
I said in my next life I'd want to be like a house cat. So I want to identify
A
as
good house. Like,
yeah, like a good house, not a
Yeah. I'd want to be my cat.
You have a cat. You're a cat person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a cat and dog person.
Okay. You
Yeah,
have a dog.
I put up with both of them. Yeah.
and they get along.
They do.
Oh,
Yeah. They're both grumpy old animals.
Awesome.
I wonder what that says about me. They say they emulate like they're
Their
humans.
that's funny.
That is awesome.
Do they sing too? No, I'm just kidding.
What?
I said, do they sing too?
I mean, one growls. The other can sing, I'd say. The cat is definitely a singer.
That's awesome. Animals. I've never got really into having
Into
pets.
animals?
Yeah.
But you eat them?
Okay, so here's the thing. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Are you vegetarian?
Not used to be, but then my best friend was my roommate and she's like the queen of asado.
Okay. The queen.
The queen of asado. So she would just like pack our fridge with
Right.
like meat.
So I'm not saying that I dislike animals. I just having them. Okay, so I was on a podcast like a month ago,
Okay.
and I told them I don't really like
pets.
I don't really like it. But I said animals. I phrased it wrong. So I said, I don't really like animals. And they asked me, well, do you like, what about dogs? I don't like them like that. As pets, I like them. They're good as animals. Like, I like them. But the idea of having a pet is just, I'm just like, it's
Of being
not
responsible, like,
right. Because you can have a pet, but like, are you gonna?
how
are
do you
gonna
feel
like
about
it?
kids?
Kids are kids. They're just small
It's like,
humans.
I don't like them either.
I don't like those either.
Okay, that makes sense.
They're just. I think it's. I don't like responsibility. Maybe it's just that. Maybe that's
You don't want to be responsible for another life.
right. Another life, and then also another animal thing. I tried to, but my cat, like just before the pandemic, jumped out of my window. He never came back.
He's running away from you.
He ran away. Yeah, probably.
Didn't come back.
I mean, it's weird that a cat doesn't come back. They always come back.
That's what I thought too. That's what everybody else said.
He found a better home.
Probably.
but
hopefully.
in the cat's defense, the cat was like a stray cat,
Okay.
and Gil boxed him up and brought him home.
Why would you?
So he was
okay.
always a stray cat.
Yeah, I mean, there are some stray cats that are very good house cats. And there are others that just can't really adapt, especially if they're not neutered.
Yeah, and which he wasn't before all this stuff was here. He used to hang out right there at that window all day. And there was stray cats that used to come in
Calling him
and call him. Yeah, exactly. So I think just for years and years and years,
part of a pack.
over time, he was just like, I see my
Family.
way out.
See, even cats wanted to be part of a community.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
It is very animalistic.
right. But that's my thing on pets. It's not that I don't like them. I don't care for them.
Yeah, you don't understand.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
need for that.
Exactly.
I mean, that's as long as you know it and you're honest with yourself
But it took me a long time because I'm
to come to terms with
To
it.
come- having a cat like leave me. Like that was a turning point. Maybe I'm not a
Made for
cat
this.
person. Yeah, I'm not made for this.
Yeah, and it's better that you don't have animals if that's like how you feel. You
Right.
know? Yeah. Especially also kids.
Right.
So many people think they need to have kids. You really don't, man.
No.
It's so weird. There's several conversations that comes up, and I feel like when people talk about like that way of kids, oh no, like they're complaining that nobody's having kids anymore. Like, is that really a complaint
I
that
don't
people
think
are
it should be
having?
a complaint.
Right.
I mean, I guess maybe boomers would complain about that,
Hmm.
but I think we are overpopulated. And I saw somebody say, like, yeah, Jay said it. We have a very overpopulated country,
Right.
world, really.
Yeah.
We don't need more humans,
No.
but they're cute.
Like cats.
But you can't put a leash on them, so.
I mean, you can. Is it accepted in society?
My friends just had a baby, and she's so cute. Again, it makes you want to have a baby,
Right.
But also, then you see like other people in airplanes have like dealing with their kids, and it's like, oh man, I really don't want that for myself.
Yeah. I mean, Hitler was a baby once too. We got to think about that,
That is true.
right?
Yeah.
I think it's just I don't know. There's just something about a little baby that's just like, it's cool, right? But then the next couple of years, it's not that cool anymore. Next 10 years, it's not.
I mean, yeah. It's not that cool because we live in a society that makes it like not cool anymore.
to be a human.
Yeah.
And I think before for women, or even, I mean, I guess for men too, but I think before that was what people would say, right? Like, oh, the nuclear family, oh, having, the mom, the dad, and your children, like that's what you were born to do, was to be a mother. Like, that was your only role
Yeah.
and that was your only thing. And oh, being a mother is so great. And oh, being a mother is so rewarding. And I really like now, because I'm in a group chat with my sister and my two other cousins, and all three of them have kids. And I love to read, like, oh my God, I want to strangle my kid today. Or, oh, I had a nervous breakdown. Or, things. And not that I love to see them suffer, but I think what I'm trying to say is, like, I like that it's so transparent now and it's everywhere, right? And I think that that's why, too, it's contributing to us not wanting to have children, is because people are coming out and saying, hey, this is what it really looks like.
Yeah.
It's not just, a nice little apron and.
Yeah, like
kids.
sacrificial maternity is not hip anymore.
No.
It's not a thing to be venerated. Like, it's just like you're allowed to be human and you're allowed to have adult needs outside of children.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I sometimes, I'm going to say it, but sometimes I cry, like, when Gil and I are having conversations, that I say, like, my mom paints, right? Or she painted. And I think, like, my mom is such a good artist that never did anything, because she gave up her entire life for my sister and I to be a mom, to be a wife. And that's her identity, is to be a mom. And she's not, Lorena the artist. She's not Lorena the entrepreneur. She's
The mother.
the mom. And to me, I'm just like, some days I get really sad where I think, like, my mom could have been whatever she wanted to be. And yeah, she could say right now, oh, I'm happy, or oh, I'm glad because I got to see my kids and my grandkids and everything. But ultimately, is that who she really wanted to be? Like, if she could do it all over again. And to me, that, like, I don't know, makes me sad.
Especially for the older generations, because I also feel like all the kids things fell onto the mother. Like, dads weren't really, like, involved, really. Like, it wasn't expected of them. But I do feel like that's changing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like that's so prevalent anymore, especially in, like, societies like the US or Europe. I think you can see it more in Latin countries. But yeah, I think that's a very real thing. Like, how much did our grandmothers and mothers, like, sacrifice to bear children?
Yeah, I agree.
Right. And I think I don't know about being a woman, but I think, like, to honor them, why would you put yourself in the same position?
Well, it depends. Right? It's the freedom to do whatever you want.
Right.
That we're, like, striving for, right? So, because some people were born to be homemakers. That's what they want to do, and that's what fulfills them.
True.
So, and also, like, if you want to be a mother and also an entrepreneur, there should be avenues for you to do that.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, conscious, like, partnerships as parents need to be, like, the focus of things. Like, if you want both of those things, and if you don't want children, that's okay too. Like, that's more power to you.
Yeah. I mean, there's the red pill, there's a blue pill, and then they have a morning after pill too.
Yeah.
So
good segue. I like that.
I don't know. Lowriders and Laughs, Saturday. Come see me. But you brought your guitar.
I did.
You're gonna.
It's a lighter subject.
I know. We're like, tell us a little bit about your music, when you started, who you are, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Well, I was a late bloomer in music. I really decided that I wanted to be a musician when I was like 18. When you have to decide when you what you want to do, which is pretty stupid question in my opinion at 18 years old. But yeah, so I decided I was gonna come to the US and study sound engineering. And so that's what I did. I graduated as a sound engineer, and now I'm just like going all over the place playing music, which is pretty fun. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how long have you been writing and performing your own music?
I'd say writing music for about 10 years now. And I released my first EP in 2020, like right at the beginning of the
Oh, wow.
pandemic, which was weird. So 4 years really like playing around and performing and releasing music.
Do you think that releasing that at the beginning of the pandemic was a challenge for you? Was it a nice boost for you? I mean, there's different ways that can happen, right?
I mean, I think it was like both. It had its negative impact and also positive. Like positive is like I'm a very introverted person, so I wasn't just thrust into like a spotlight of like having to promote it and going places and playing and interacting with all sorts of people. But at the same time, that also hindered me. And when you come out as a performer out of the pandemic, you're like, I completely lost everything I had built like in the previous years as a performer. So I was like, okay, now I have to like relearn who I am as an artist and like, who am I after this? Like, what do I have to say? So it was a little bit crazy.
That is kind of weird to start off, that way, especially where the world was at the beginning of 2020 and trying to navigate out of the pandemic, which is also tough in its own right.
Yeah,
too.
Everything was virtual. It's so strange. Like we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Right.
So
yeah. I don't know. Who would have thought that would happen, right?
nobody.
Like nobody knew.
The people who wrote The Matrix.
Right. They knew.
They knew. They wrote it.
They wrote it.
They made it happen.
But what type of virtual things were you doing in the pandemic?
Just like interviews and
okay.
playing live, but from my living room.
Oh, okay.
So you're not really experiencing that live music magic.
Right.
Like sometimes you'll hear something on Spotify or something, and you're like, oh, that's cool. But you don't really have any like personal interaction or connection with that music. And then somebody can be playing like music like a busker, and you connect with it because it's right there. There is something to be said about social interaction, that live music connection. It's just magic. Like I can't explain it.
Yeah, there's nothing different. There's nothing like live entertainment, whether somebody has a guitar or somebody has a microphone and trying to make you laugh.
Yeah,
Solely different. So you had to basically like relearn how to perform.
Yeah. It was
How was
like,
that?
It was a little bit crazy because like I could feel confident, and at the moment, like when I like stepped on stage, like my hands would be shaking, and I'd be like, "What is going on with me?" And then you realize, like, oh, like I've been locked up for a year now. And like maybe that's where my anxiety was coming from. Like, am I really good enough to do this? Like, I don't know. I can't remember.
When you were doing your virtual shows, did you get nervous?
Of course, like every time you're like, oh, I hope I don't forget the lyrics or something, but but it wasn't like, oh, I have this whole like audience right here waiting to judge me.
Basically, that's what happens when you jump on any stage.
Yeah. Also with comedy too.
Or the camera's on you, like there's...
But you get used to it.
Yeah. I don't think you get... Well, at least personally, I feel like I don't get used to it. I think I feel that I know that I'm going to get nervous. Like, I know I'm going to be nervous, but I think it just... The way to navigate your nervousness to help you perform a little bit better, I think that gets better over time.
Yeah.
Right?
You always get nervous, but you just learn like, oh, this is normal.
This is normal.
I know how it feels, and I know what happens.
Exactly.
So you deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you move it. You file it in your brain to help you perform better.
Yeah.
Like you using that energy and twisting it and making it work for you.
But it's like by trial of fire. Like you need to put yourself in those situations.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
get over it.
It's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Whether you bomb or you miss a lyric or you miss a chord,
you learn.
you learn from that experience,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I don't know. Music is such a... That's why I like talking to musicians, because it's a different type of stress. It's a different type of avenue on
Yeah.
how to, navigate nervousness and entertaining somebody on stage with an instrument. This is wild already.
And it involves so many other things, like when you get over the nervousness of like performance, there's also like, can I connect to the music and can I make people feel something with it? Because that's pretty much it. Like, why do people buy concert tickets? Why do you buy a vinyl? Why do you buy CDs? Like, because it makes you feel something, or
Right.
it reminds you of someone or something. So it's like, that is when you move up to that next level. Like, how can I connect to this like thing that I don't know what it is, but how can I make people feel with my music?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's a little bit crazy.
Some people call it the ether. I don't know.
Is that the ether?
I think Google this so I don't get it wrong. But I think ether, like what is an ether? But I heard it's like this plane of existence that's just
like
pure
another plane of consciousness?
energy. No, that it's energy, and we're all tapped into
The same frequency.
the same frequency.
That is the music. Like that is the magic of live music. Then
Yeah, exactly. Chemistry, no, because that's totally wrong.
it's used
Literary.
as an anesthetic. The clear sky.
I think you're spelling it wrong.
No, that's the way
Yeah,
it's
blame it
spelled.
on me.
No, I can confirm that is how it is spelled.
Okay.
That's the only way that I can think of.
No, it was a.
But everybody uses it in the way that you're using it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just like,
you're not. I don't
Right?
think you're wrong.
maybe we are just not using it.
There's
right
no.
way.
There's a sign.
Oh, what is either slang? The either slang.
Refer to radio airwaves when a signal comes over the ether.
Okay, no, that's
Okay, so it's basic. What I'm talking about is a basic, like that, like a wave of energy that humans can't see, but we're all connected, right?
Yeah.
And there's times where we're at a live music event and we feel the music. Yeah, we sure the vibration, but we feel it in some weird way.
And it comes back also to community. Like, it wouldn't be the same to perform for one person than to have like a group of people tuned into that same
Right.
frequency and sharing that space
And feeling it together.
and feeling it together.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
brought it back to the beginning.
Red pill or blue pill, or the other one. So you're gonna sing us something, right?
Yeah.
You ready for that?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What are you gonna sing for us?
So I'm gonna perform my latest single. Like, it just came out like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's a love song.
Ooh.
Ooh. Talking about a blue pill. Should I get my guitar?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and perform it, and then I would love to. We'll talk about it after if you like to. All right. Cool.
Todo lo que empieza tiene su final, o así me decían. Yo no lo entendía. Todo lo que viene se lo lleva al mar y ya no regresa nunca más igual. Tú despejar las sombras. Yo merezco algo constante, no un amor distante, pero me enamoré de un extraño. Es algo muy raro, no sé cómo olvidarlo. Me enamoré de un extraño, siento que lo conozco, es poco y es todo. Yo estoy bien y tú. Ha pasado un tiempo, veo a tus amigos, me atropella el viento, frágil corazón que te idealizó, porque nadie antes lo guardó como tú. Mereces algo de luz, despejar las sombras. Yo merezco algo constante, no un amor distante, pero me enamoré de un extraño. Es algo muy raro, no sé cómo olvidarlo. Me enamoré de un extraño, siento que lo conozco, es poco y es todo. La, 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 la.
All right.
Yay.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. I don't know if you could could you hear it well?
I could hear
Yeah,
it
we
well.
can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Ooh,
Awesome.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
I like it.
Feels like I don't know what you said. But
I know what you
sounded
said,
great.
but you are a great
Sounded
singer.
great.
You're a great guitar
Should have
player.
warned that it was gonna be in Spanish.
That's fine. Maybe you can break it down for me in English.
Sure. So, so it's pretty autobiographical. Is that a word?
Sure.
Yeah.
Am I making it up in English? And it's about this like summer love that I had last year. So it's basically saying like I fell in love with a stranger, and it's very weird. Like I don't know why I like this person, but here we are. So it's pretty much kind of like a breakup song, but it's just like that like brief love affair that marked you. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Wow. What is the song called?
Extraño.
Extraño mean like
job.
missing? Miss?
Like stranger.
Strange extraño.
Stranger danger. Kidding.
Extraño.
Extraño, yeah.
Okay. I thought that meant missing, no? Like yo extraño?
I miss, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also that.
Oh.
It's one of those words that has.
Yeah, multiple meanings.
Oh, okay. See, look at
Said
I
that
know
at the same time, Amber.
Jinx.
Yeah, I know Spanish, but look, it's just very difficult because one word means like three things.
Yeah. No,
can
Spanish
feel it.
is one of the hardest, I feel, to learn.
Is Spanish your first language?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to learn? You speak English like really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because I moved to the U.S. and it was Miami. It wasn't really like
Oh, Miami.
Miami, yeah. So
Okay.
it's like that's the ether. That's like
I
don't feel like
I
that's
found
the
the
US.
correct word.
It's ethos.
It's ethos.
Oh, okay. So everybody uses it wrong.
Yeah.
Ethos, the characteristic spirit of culture, era, or community as manifested
like
in
that's
its
not even
beliefs
what you
and
were trying to
aspirations.
say.
Nah,
Okay, never
I
mind.
like
Bye.
Yeah.
I like my definition.
Yeah.
So
of
Miami.
Yeah, so so I don't know. I think it's because my parents had me learning English since I was like 3 years old.
Oh, okay.
So that, and also maybe music too, like the inclination to be a musician.
Do you have?
That ear, I don't know.
Do you? Yeah, I mean, it could
This is
be.
my theory.
It's right. Define that. Do you have any music in English, or is it
I
just
do.
all Spanish?
No, I do have both
Yeah?
English and Spanish. Yeah.
Dang, it's just so wild to me that people know. Like, I barely know English.
Different language.
They know different languages, but to perform in another language that they weren't taught, like, it's just the human brain is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have this friend, I think she's Vietnamese. She performs comedy in English, and let me tell you, she kills the room every time she does it too.
And it's not her first language.
And it's not her first
And
language.
that's even crazier because you have to understand the culture
right.
of the people who you're, you know.
Exact 100%. Yeah, it blows my mind sometimes.
I mean, that's why she's good though. That's the real talent.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're talented too.
I mean, I never said I wasn't. Thank you.
She's right. She's right.
It's a mutiny in here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a mutiny.
That's what happens when you have more estrogen in the room. For once, I'm on top. I'm always in a room with
male-dominated rooms.
male-dominated. Our podcast is so. This is nice for
It was a nice change, right?
for me. Yeah.
Tune in Thursday where we have
Where we're back to our normal schedule. Where I have to fight.
Where I'm back to being cool.
Kathy. Thanks for coming out and
Thank
doing
you
the
for
podcast.
inviting me.
I
This was
appreciate
fun.
it. Tell us where we can find you and what you
course.
have coming up.
So I do have more music coming up. So, and I'm on like every streaming platform. So if you have Spotify or all of that good stuff, find me as Kathy Palma. You can write it as KathyPalma. And you can also find me on like social media as KathyPalma, Kath Palma. Yeah. Stay tuned in because there's a lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you heard her. Go down to the show notes. Everything's going to be clickable. You can check out Kathy on Spotify, YouTube, all the other good stuff. Check out where she's going to have shows. Follow her. Do all that cool stuff. Anything else?
I think that's pretty much it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Cool. Amber, what do you have?
That I'm done. Just kidding.
All right. Laughs and Lowriders. Come check me out on Friday. We still have another show on Thursday, but Friday is not Laughs and Lowriders. It's the Pomona show. Saturday is Laughs and Lowriders. Santa Anita. Come check it out. $5 at the door.
Yeah.
Anything else? This was awesome. This was really good.
This was really fun.
I had a really good time.
I'm glad. I'm here for the bring the the hard conversations.
To bring the hard-hitting conversations. I love it. This was great. Thanks for coming out and doing the podcast. Are you like always in Guatemala, or do you?
I'm around.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like after this, I'm going to Vietnam. Before this, I was
Are
in
you really?
Mexico. Yeah.
You're going to Vietnam?
Yeah.
What? Why didn't we talk about that?
I don't know. It didn't come
We
up.
wanted to talk about
Serial
airplane
killers.
doors.
La mata viejita. That's what we talked about.
That's why we didn't talk about her going to Vietnam.
It's another side of my personality, you know.
The Mind Buzz Podcast.